Welcome to Sports and Entertainment with Matthew, presented by White Pepsi Studio. The following program is brought to you by White Pepsi Studio. Hello, beautiful world. This is Sports and Entertainment with Matthew. The following show is brought to you by White Pepsi Studio. This program is full of hot takes, big laughs, wild opinions, and yeah, sometimes a little cussing. Everything said here is strictly for entertainment, and if you get mad, just remember it's just a show, not a court case. So, welcome to my show. I recorded one about 3 weeks ago. I've tried to record a few different times, but things have happened. The mic sound card yesterday was sounding crappy, but I had my Steelers stuff on. I'm a huge Steelers fan and Seattle Seahawks fan. I live in the Northwest. That's why Seattle. But little quick story on the Steelers, why I love them so much and why I root for them is it goes back to family. I had an aunt who married a gentleman from Pittsburgh, actually had family in the politician world, and actually had a brother who was the head priest, I believe, at St. Vincent's, where the Steelers would practice training camp every year. So I would have cousins, been water boys, water girls. We've got signed footballs. I've never been back there. I would love to save up and take a trip and see my family. I've had my aunts and my cousins flew them back here, but never been out there before. But would love to save up and go to Pittsburgh to see a Steelers game. Week 2, Steelers versus Seahawks. 1A versus 1B in my heart. And even though we don't have a quarterback for the Steelers, I say we, like I'm part of the team. I played football before, but never have, just high school. I wish I could go back in time and do things different, but you can't. So, but back to the show. So yeah, we had water girls, water boys, cousins, family members. We've had footballs, like I said. One year, my grandma tried to send my little brother, which she got a football with the Steelers logo on one side of it, really nice, and sent it back to get an autograph. But somehow someone took it off the coach's, and that was Coach Coward's desk, and he found out about it. And Cordell and the bus signed the ball just for my brother, and then the team signed another ball. And I've never had a signed ball. I don't know why. Never had. My older brother had. My little brother has. I never had. Cousins have, just not me. I don't know why. Got some Telbor towels. That was awesome. A couple of years, about maybe a little bit longer. It's probably been longer. Right before my aunt died, she sent them for me. Got them because they live in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I hear it's pretty close to where the Steelers, pretty close to Pittsburgh. I should know that, but I don't. Like I said, I'm new to all this. But Seahawks, Steelers are my favorite team. We don't know what's going on with the quarterback, even though let's hope Aaron Rodgers comes. We got DK Metcalf. We got rid of George Pickens, but we picked up, I forget who, we picked up somebody. I need to look that up. I'm sometimes drawing a blank. We'll find that out in a second. Back to the Steelers news. So we recently signed running back Trey Simmons, running back Max Hillerman, and OT Garrett Warren. We got rid of Najee, got rid of Wilson, got rid of Fields, and George Pickens. But we got DK Metcalf. And then sources say the veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers is getting close to signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's hope that's true. Like I said, I want Aaron Rodgers to be a Pittsburgh Steeler for life, not for life, for the rest of his career. Because I believe with the defense, TJ Watt and everybody, and we got Darius Slay. I just read that. We actually got Robert Woods, Darius Slay, and Maka Harrison. I'm sorry for butchering your name. Was born with a speech impediment, so sometimes it's hard for me to pronunciate, but I'm trying my best. I'm working on it every day. But yeah. So, but the Steelers got Darius Slay, great defensive player. DK Metcalf went from the Seahawks to the Steelers. From my second favorite team to my first favorite team. Happy about that. And since we got rid of Fields and Russell, let's hope Aaron comes in. But we still got to worry about the future. But we got Big Will Howard. I call him the new Big Ben. Big Will. I call him Big Will. Or Big Willie. Big Will. Let's light it up. Let's have Aaron Rodgers come in. I know he's not really like a team player guy. I've been told by sources. But man, Will should just pick his brain. If I was a quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers came to my quarterback room, I would learn from him, watch him, study him, pick his brain if he lets me. Unless he's a big asshole, but let's hope he's not. I've heard nothing but nice things. I watched the McAfee show. This inspired me to do my own show. So we'll find out. We'll see. I'm sure I'll never be big like McAfee. I wish. Never played professional sports, just an average guy. But hey, I love sports. I love entertainment. I love talking, even though I have a speech impediment. My family says I've never shut up since I learned how to talk. So we'll see. If you notice a little bit the artwork behind me, I actually paint, and I painted all those inspired by team colors of the professional leagues. And Turtle Ninjas, I'm a kid from the 80s, late 80s. I was 84, I was born, but I didn't start remembering until 89, 88. So Turtle Ninjas, early 90s for sure. Nickelodeon, Seattle, Star Wars, football cards. I have a 3D printer at my parents' house, or my brother does, so print some 3D print Ninja Stars. Got a football. So, yeah, let's just talk about sports and entertainment. So, what else? You want to watch a horse race this week? Whew, that was amazing. I couldn't believe journalism, man, was in the middle of the pack, was fighting, elbowing, getting his move, and he got it. The first horse, the one from the '69 Mets, I can't pronounce the horse's name. Like I said, don't want to butcher it, so I apologize. But that horse was thinking it was in the lead, was about to win, just going. But man, journalism, and that's what we are. Journalism, giving people the news about sports and entertainment. He came back and won, and he was second place in the Kentucky Derby. And like they were talking, it sucks. The winner should automatically go from the Kentucky Derby to the Preakness, and then if they lose, they don't have to go to the third stage of the Triple Crown. If they win, then definitely go to the third. We have another 2 weeks for Saturday of June. It'll be the last race for the Triple Crown, and then that's baseball season's ramping up. OTAs will be around now, around then, I believe, but then they get a little break, and then training camp starts ramping up in July, and then all of August, and then we got preseason games, and then we football on September. Great schedule, great games, a lot of games. I'm not sure how many games. There's at least a handful of games in other countries at 6:30 a.m. start time. That's awesome. Steelers are going to Ireland, going to Dublin, Ireland, and then with Minnesota. And then Minnesota stays there for a week or goes somewhere else in Europe for a week to play again. I gotta see who. I will look that up. I gotta be better with notes. Like I said, this is my first time doing a show like this. Actually, second. First one was only a few minutes. I'm trying to go longer than a few minutes. Trying to have things. I'm gonna talk about betting. I want to learn how to bet better. So we're gonna learn how to bet together. I have a segment for that called Betting with Matthew, and so and then this has no sponsors except White Pepsi Studio is the sponsor. White Pepsi Studio is a great clothing company. All right, in baseball news for Monday games, we have bottom of the fifth, Marlins 6, Cubs 3. Top of the sixth, you have Reds 1, Pirates 1. Top of the fifth, you have Mets 1, Red Sox 3. Bottom of the fourth, you have Rays 0, Astros 3. Bottom of the second, Brewers 0, Orioles 1. Bottom of the second, Twins 1, Guardians 1. End of the second, White Sox 0, Mariners 0. Top of the second, Tigers 0, Cardinals 1. And games that still need to be played are Phillies versus the Rockies, Royals versus the Giants, Angels versus the A's, and Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers. And we'll look at the standings for baseball, and we'll start here in the American League on the East. And the New York Yankees are winning 27 games, 19 losses. Looks like 5 games ahead of the Boston Red Sox. And you have for Central, you have Detroit Tigers are 31 wins, 16 losses. And looks like they're 5 games ahead of the Minnesota Twins. In the West, Seattle Mariners, 26 wins, 19 losses. 2.5 games ahead of the Houston Astros. The Yankees are my team. I've always loved the Yankees. I can remember Derek Jeter, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2003, and again 2009. I remember all those great times for the Yankees fan. Grew up here in the Northwest, so Seattle. I like King Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson, but I always loved the Yankees. I don't know why. Probably a bandwagon jumper, people call it. But that's what I did since I've been little, and I've ever since still love and like the Yankees. Check up on the Mariners from time to time, but yeah, Yankees. And then we're looking in the National League. You got the New York Mets, 29 wins, 18 losses, because they got Soto. He never should have jumped ship, but he did. And then second place would be, I mean, with only a half a game lead is the Phillies right behind the Mets, and then you have the Braves are 5 games behind them. And then in Central you got the Chicago Cubs, 28 wins, 19 losses, 2 games ahead of St. Louis Cardinals. And in the West you have the Dodgers, 29 wins, 18 losses, 1 game of the game ahead of the San Diego Padres. So baseball is kind of a tedious and long sport. I love it, and I ramp up towards it at end of the season, beginning of the playoffs, the fall time, where the World Series. I love the playoffs. I will watch baseball always around playoff time. At least, definitely the World Series. Whenever the World Series comes on, I always watch it, no matter what. But yeah, baseball is fun, especially around Halloween time and all that. But I love football. I love basketball, then baseball, then hockey, then soccer. And I love horse racing up there too. I love just horses are beautiful. Speaking of horse racing, my God, journalism. I think I already talked about. Man, great outing. I already done that. Just have to remind people from time to time. Horses are beautiful animals, majestic animals, beautiful creatures. And Monday night is Monday Night Raw tonight. McAfee hopefully on the mic. It's 5:11 now, so it's actually started. So a couple more months, like 5 more months. Mondays will be Monday Night Football. Yeah, sports are great. So entertainment and movies. Back to more entertainment news. We have movies we're talking about. We have Mission Impossible coming out May 23rd. You got Thunderbolts already out. You got Final Destination. Bloodlines already out. You have Friendship. May 9th limited. May 23rd worldwide. Bring Her Back May 30th. I really wanted to see Mission Impossible. That looks amazing. The last movie was awesome. I gotta go back and rewatch it before I get to go and see the new one. My sources went to saw Thunderbolts. They gave them 7 out of 10. They said it started off a little slow, but ended up really well. Action packed, funny. Thunderbolts a great movie to see. Final Destination won't see that because remember seeing one of the movies where the guy almost gets his hand chopped off from the sink, but then the ring falls down. I think the ladder falls on him or some crazy shit like that. He dies. And you also have the freaking logs on the semi. Freaking every time I go behind a god dang semi, I kind of shit my pants. I really don't, but it freaks me out a little bit. Man, those movies. No, thank you. Not really big of a fan of horror movies. I'll watch them, but they scare the shit out of me sometimes. A little fact people might not know about me, I get the shit scared out of me all the time. I'll be just in the zone, working, thinking, whatever, and people come behind me and say word something, and I'll jump. Oh, man, I jump pretty easy. It's pretty funny. My coworkers try to do it all the time to me, especially this one. He's just a jerk. Laugh out loud. So, some of the streaming shows, man, Criminal Minds came back, Evolution, two episodes are out. Great. I love that show. Watch that show. You have Studios, another great show on Apple TV. I watched that. We got Reacher on Amazon's a great show to watch. I love Reacher. I love Criminal Minds Evolutions, Studios. Yeah, Daredevil, that's already over and out, but Daredevil is a great show to watch. People, nighttime binging is a great show. More shows to binge will be Sirens on Netflix, Department Q on Netflix, Murder Bolt on Apple TV, The Better Sisters on Prime Video, returning series will be Big Mouth on Netflix, Nine Perfect Strangers on Hulu, Rick and Morty, yes, Rick and Morty, another season of Rick and Morty. Adult Swim's May 25th. That will be 6 more days. And then American Got Talent. The 20th season kicks off on NBC May 27th. And then in the music world, you have Morgan Wallen dropping 37 albums. Man, that guy has a voice of an angel. I love Morgan Wallen. That guy can sing. I love that shit out of that guy. I love the shit out of his music. You also have Blake Shelton, and then Maddie and Tay, Carly Hamlick, Dylan Scott, Ashley Kraft, all has will be having songs dropping. But man, Morgan, His 35 songs. You have two intros, and then the guitar and just vocals of his other song, his other album. That guy's gonna have like 50 of the top 100 for sure. Little Crazy is a great song. Man, there's nothing but beats, nothing but, man, bangers and bangers on Morgan Wallen. And I'm sure there'll be bangers on Blake Shelton. Man, I love to hang out with these guys. Like I said, I'd be happy if one person watches this show. I wish one day I could be like McAfee, but I'm sure I'll never be because I never play sports. I'm not even rich. None of my other videos have really gone off. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to still try to do this show every week or a week or so. Try to do it every week. I have a busy life, but I'm trying to do it behind the scenes. And let's go Steelers. Let's go Yankees. Let's go one day at a time, ladies and gentlemen. So, but back into music. We have in hip hop, we have Mike and Tony Sitzers, Pinball, May 17th. We have Amy, Amine, 13 Months of Sunshine, May 16th. Exhibit, Kingmaker, May 16th. Man, Exhibit, it's been a long time. Snoop Dogg, Bangers, baby. Man, Ernest drops some bangers too, and Snoop Dogg drops bangers. Exhibit's gonna drop bangers. They're all gonna be some bangers. And Benny the Butcher is gonna drop bangers. And then R&B, that's rap for those ones. R&B, you have Caution Clay, Keela Uchis, Emotional Oranges, Savannah Ree, and Normie Sean. Rock and roll, you have Sparks, Mad. You have Sleep Theory, Honey Boy Slim and the Bad Habits, Hinder, Back to Life, Swans, yeah. And this one I can't print. I don't know how ILS girl. Sorry if I butchered your name, but those are your releases for music for this month. Entertainment. I love it. I love watching TV. I love watching movies. Like I said, Criminal Minds, Criminal Minds. You have Daredevil. You have Reacher. You have freaking The Punisher. You have what else? There's a lot of shows you can watch and talk about. I'm gonna try and make a list of like my favorite shows and movies, top movies of all time, top shows of all time, put in movies that I love, movies that people might not love. But hey, it's my list, so who cares? All right, let's talk about betting. I want to learn betting just like you guys might want to learn betting. I'm sure there's people out there who've never bet, maybe want to. I'm a little I'm a casual gambler. I gamble mostly on football. That's about it. But I would like to learn more, learn how to bet on other sports, maybe win a little bit of money. But let's talk about betting. Welcome back to Sports and Entertainment with Matthew, where we keep it real, fun, and sometimes profitable. Today, I'm walking you through the basics of sports betting because knowing what you're doing is half the battle. Let's get into it. Reminder, betting should be fun, not a paycheck. Set limits. Know your boundaries. Don't blow all your rent. If you need help, there's places out there that can help you. I'm sure that's a number. I don't know, but Gamblers Anonymous is real. There's people out there to help. But if you have if you at that point, I'm sure you're not a beginner, and I'm sure you're not watching this. But hey, let's get back to betting 101. Betting on sports means placing money on the outcome of a game or event. If you guess right, you win money. If not, you know the drill. But it's not just about picking winners, it's about the odds, lines, and strategy. Alright, you have different terms. So you have the spread. The exact margin of victory you bet on who will cover the spread. Money line. Bet on who wins straight up. Simple. Team A versus Team B. No point spread. Over and under total. Bet whether the total scores you will be over or under a set number. Parlay. A combo bet. Your pick multiple outcomes. All must hit to win big. Prop bets. Fun stuff. You bet on players' stats, first touchdowns, etc. And futures. Long-term bets, etc. Who wins the Super Bowl? Alright. We'll talk about football and basketball. So let's talk about the Steelers are minus 3.5 against the Browns. That means Pittsburgh must win by 4 or more to cover the spread. If you take the Browns plus 3.5, they can win or lose by 3 or less, and you win the bet. So do you understand that? If you pick the Browns at plus 3, they have to win or lose by 3. If they win or lose by 4, you lose. So 3 or less. And then the Steelers have to win by 4 to cover. Some smart tips for beginners. Start small. Bet what you can afford to lose. Shop the lines. Different sport books offer different odds. Don't chase losers. Bet emotionally is how you lose your rent money. Do your research. Injuries, matchups, and stats do matter. Track your bets. Know what you win or lose. So I always use DraftKings. DraftKings is a really good betting place. I don't shop around. I just shop there. It's because I'm in the Northwest. You can't get ESPN bets. Some of these other betting platforms are not allowed in my state in Oregon. So DraftKings is. It's really easy to use, and they actually have a really nice little simple thing in the corner. You click and it says stats, and it'll tell you how much you won or lost for the year, for the weeks, what you're up, what you're down for, whatever. It's pretty amazing. Actually, for the last 3 years, I'm actually even. For 1 year, I'm up about $500. The other year, I'm about $300 or $400. So I haven't lost yet, but I haven't really won either. The biggest amount I won, about usually I bet 20 to $40 at a time, no more than 60. The most I've ever bet at 1 week is about 100. But when Thanksgiving, I bet about 40. And I won about $400. That's the biggest payout I had so far. The three most common bets are money line, like we said before, but here's in basketball sample: Lakers minus 150 versus Warriors plus 130, meaning Lakers minus 150. You must bet $150 to win 100. They're the favorite. Warriors plus 130 equals bet 100 to win 130. They're the underdog. And then the spread, margin of victory. Cowboys minus 3.5 versus Eagles plus 3.5. Cowboys must win by 4 to cover, 4 or more to cover. Eagles can lose by 3 or less or win out and still cover. We've talked about that. Just another example to help people out. And then the over and under is really simple. Example, over and under 44.5. You're betting if both teams combine for more than 44.5 or under. So if you want to think the teams won't hit that 44.5, you bet under. If you think the teams will combine together and get over 44.5, you bet over. You can bet on anything. You can bet on shots, 3-pointers made, field goals made, anything on over and under, really. For those new to betting, the spread just means how many points a team needs to win by. Money line easy. Just pick the winner. Minus means favorite, plus means underdog. And then over under is the total score for both teams. You're not picking a winner, just the total points. So those are little things about betting. We'll go over some bets for if there's any games that we can bet on for today. We'll go over that right now. Again, please don't sue me. These are just some picks. Don't mean I'm right. If I'm wrong, don't come after me. Don't kill me. Don't threaten me. If I'm right, just give me a thumbs up. So in NBA playoffs, the conference finals will be Tuesday, May 20th. Minnesota Timberwolves versus Oklahoma City Thunder, Game 1. Pick is the Timberwolves to win the series at 280. Being underdogs, the Timberwolves have a strong defense and rebounding advantage, making them a valuable pick for the series. So if you're picking the whole series, picking the Timberwolves plus 280, those are really good odds. We're picking the Timberwolves over the Thunder. Even though the Thunder are the favorite, we're still picking the Timberwolves. On the East, Indiana Pacers at New York Knicks. Game 1 is Wednesday. Knicks to win the series in 7 games are plus 350. The Knicks have home court advantage and are favored to edge out the Pacers in 7-game series. I don't believe that. I am picking the Pacers. Let's see what their odds are. So I just lied right now. I'm not really lied. Right now, I said the Knicks are plus 50 on the first place I checked, but MS or ESPN bets are saying right now that the Pacers are plus 125 to win the series. The Knicks are minus 145 to win the series. And then the Pacers are plus 700 to win the NBA Finals. And then series correct score odds. Pacers to win 4-2 plus 440. Pacers to win 4-3 plus 570. Knicks to win 4-3 is plus 400. And the NBA Finals MVPs Halliburton plus 900. And Pascal Kasakam plus 4,000. Those would be the odds. But like I said, I am picking the Pacers, and to pick the Pacers are plus 125 right now to win this series, and that's who I am picking. More back on other sports to pick. So I am picking Minnesota Timberwolves plus 280 to win the series, and I'm picking the Indiana Pacers at plus 145 to win the series. And then in baseball, Mets versus Reds. Picks over. We're picking over 9 runs. Both teams have potential offense, and the over has hit in 5 of the last 6 meetings. Jake Bauer For the Brewers to hit a home run, odds plus 500. Brewers has a favorable matchup against Orioles pitcher Dean Kiemler, against whom he has 2 home runs and 9 at bats. 2 home runs at 9 at bats. And then the Braves for the 20th for more picks for baseball May 19th. Mets versus Red Sox. It's a pick 'em. We're picking over 9 runs, and reason why both teams have potential offense, and the over has hit in 5 of the last 6 meetings. And we're picking Jake Bauer, Bauers, for the Brewers to hit a home run. Odds are plus 500. And reason, Bauer has a favorable matchup against Orioles pitcher Dean Kiemler, against whom he has 2 home runs in the last 9 at-bats. Baseball picks for May 20th. The Braves versus the Nationals. The pick, Braves minus 1.5 runs line. Reason, the Braves have dominated the Nationals this season, winning by multiple runs in their previous encounters. Next game, Reds versus Pirates. Pick over 8 runs. Why? Both teams have been involved in high-scoring games recently, and their pitching matchups suggest others over. Hockey for May 20th. Florida Panthers versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Game 1. Pick the Hurricanes to win at negative 125 odds. The Hurricanes have a strong home record and are favored to take the series opener. Soccer for May 20th. Manchester City versus Bournemouth. We're picking Manchester City win and over 1.5 total goals at 1.73 odds. City has a domination home record against Bournemouth and needs a win to stay in the Championship League race. Horse racing, the Preakness Stakes, May 24th. Pick Clever again to win at 5-1 odds. Clever again has favorable conditions and territorial and very fast speed, making him a strong candidate in the Preakness Stakes. Remember to gamble responsible and consider these picks as part of a broader betting strategy. Good luck as the Indiana Pacers gear up for the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks. Let's go. Once again, this program is brought to you by White Pepsi Studio. Please check them out at White Pepsi Studio at Etsy. Have a good night, and we'll say good night on 3. 1, 2, 3. Good night.